Yo everybody, welcome to a new Watcher of Realms video from Infernum. Today we have a fun one. We are clearing AMR 30 without Silas, without Valara, without Lady Alexandra. I do have those units and I have them at A5, but you know what, I chose not to use them because I wanted to make this guide as accessible as possible. So I intentionally nerfed the gear. I didn't use any unstoppable force pieces on key units. I also didn't use any exclusive gear on some of the key units. That should leave you some room for improvement, and you know what, don't even worry about not having the units that I have. I'm going to provide replacements for most of them. This is the last piece of content that there is to clear on my account. I've done everything else, 250k matrix, gear dungeon 313. I have a guide out for that if you are in need. It's a guide without Kigiri and Draylin, so it's pretty good. Also, I've cleared all campaign, Tower of Deception and so on, so this is the last piece of content. And you know what, with the AC collab heroes coming, I said maybe I'm going to need to throw a couple hundred runs at AMR to get some exclusive artifact, and why not make an affordable or fairly reasonable guide for you to follow and clear this content once and for all. Without further ado, remember to like, comment and subscribe if you enjoy this type of content, and let's get right into it. Alright, so let's get right into it. Now, don't worry about not having an A5 Yovar, A5 Praetus, those are not needed. The rest of awakenings, I would say, are fairly low, but of course Hex is A5 and Nerissa is A5, and I actually need to use them like this, but your Hex can be A3, I'm pretty sure. Nerissa of course doesn't need A5 by any means. You're going to see on her side we're going to have Praetus and Vira, and the boss will die fairly comfortable, so don't worry about not having her A5 for the extra inspiration. What I think is required is Citra A1 actually, but keep in mind if you don't have Citra A1 there are tons of other options to do her job. Silas can do her job, I don't know, Nastia, even Nastia, something like that can do her job. Let me think, Lady Alexandra, I do have an A5 lady but I'm choosing not to use her. So yeah, I'm trying to nerf this as much as possible. I tried not to use unstoppable piece forces and unstoppable force pieces and so on. Alright, we're starting off with Mina and Vira here. Let's do X2 speed for now. We can use Vira's ultimate to get her bullets, her good bullets, let's call them, because they do damage. Alright, here, when those mobs get around this line, we can use Mina's ultimate, and when Mina is around half, let's say, we can place our Suye, and you can witness total destruction. Alright, now we're placing Erlis. As you can see, Suye still has quite a lot of her ultimate to take care of those guys, so shouldn't be any problem. Alright, now we're placing Citra. Let's remove Suye. And we are also placing Diao-chan. Swapping Diao-chan to inspiration. We can use Citra's ultimate here. Ideally you want the little hearts to appear before using her ultimate to make sure she takes care of that mob, but that should happen regardless. Now we're placing Hex and ulting with Vira to get her stacks back, her good bullets. Alright, now when you have Hex's ultimate you should use it immediately. Okay, now we're going to have those mobs appearing, so we can use Citra's ultimate, and that's pretty much all you need to worry about for now. As you can see, Citra takes good care of that guy, also Vira takes care of this guy. Now here, technically, if you want it, you could make it without Suye. Like just ulting with Mina should be enough, but let's not do that because it's not needed. So let's swap Diao-chan at around 85% to make sure Citra is healed well enough to survive. She has pretty high of a base HP, so that should be more than fine. Alright, we're okay, we are placing our Suye, And as soon as the boss does, as you can see, Mina almost killed them by herself. So for sure, I actually have her in soulbound. If you use something like Hell's Lament on her, for sure she can take care of them by herself. You don't even need to worry about Suye. So here we are removing her. And next up we are going to place our Praetors. Also, make sure you swap the Aochan back after the AoE hit to inspiration mode. I don't know if I said that or not already. So as soon as you see the boss starting to take damage, we're going to use Citra's ultimate. That should make quick work of the shield. Now we're also placing Praetus. Shouldn't matter too much. Now this is fairly tight, but Citra's ultimate comes back, and that's why I said she might need the A1. Here let's ulti Vira to get her bullets back. That's why I said you need her A1, because here you can actually use her ultimate to get the boss to 60% without having to worry about it. Now after the AoE we are going to place our Suye, and she's going to take care of everything. Also, I think you should use Praetus' ultimate. I might have forgot to use his ultimate for those little mobs, but whatever. Okay, now Vira is taking care of the boss, and as you can see, she does insane damage. So don't worry about the A5 Nerissa or whatnot. As you can see, Vira already took care of the boss and her ultimate is back, so she can also take care of the shield now. We should have removed Suye, I forgot, but we still should be fine. Her deployment time is really low. Now the boss is doing the AoE, so that's it. After the AoE we're placing Hex, we're ulting with Praetus, and we also have to ult with Hex, so we're going to do that. Now let's use Mina's ultimate as soon as she's back, and Suye should be back in time. Let's use Hex here. Suye should be back in time to help with those mobs. As you can see, Mina does tremendous work almost by herself, so it works great. Now we don't even need Suye anymore, so we can remove her, and she's actually gone for good on this one. Okay, the boss is at 20%. We can remove our Hex, and basically that's the whole stage. Now I did say that at some point you shouldn't, I mean not shouldn't, but you don't really need to use Suye. So here let's place our Citra, let's place our Yovar and our Diaochan. And the reason I said that is because you can actually kill the boss before those mobs reach the portal. But if that doesn't happen for you and you actually need more damage, you can skip one deployment of her. Mina will take care of that without any kind of issues, and this way you have her here to stall a little bit more until you kill the boss. Now let's look at the damage. As you can see, Mina is an absolute beast. So yeah, crazy stuff, crazy stuff. Now let's see the gear. Alright, so Yovar, as you saw, we used him only at the end. We are using Hell's Lament on him. Nothing crazy. We don't have his we have his exclusive weapon but not ring, and we also have his artifact. The damage at the end, as you saw, should be enough, but if it's not, perhaps you can skip one Suye deployment. Now for Mina, for sure you can find better gear. I have her in soulbound with some pretty mediocre pieces. I mean, it's nothing special. The crit rates are high, but aside from that, yeah. Here we have an unstoppable force, but you don't actually need it because Mina doesn't benefit from the attack too much. So basically as much HP, here we have around 29,700k, that should be enough. For Hex we actually used Hell's Lament because we need him to kill the boss as fast at the first rotation, so just a simple Hell's Lament. Keep in mind I didn't use his exclusive, I have his exclusive, but I kinda choose to nerf him intentionally. I also didn't use any kind of exclusive, so you can also use the Infernal's exclusive for him if you have it. And honestly, at that point, you should be really good to go. His artifact is nothing special, you have around 500 flat attack and 8.3%. He doesn't need HP because he doesn't need to tank any of the AoE hits. Now for Citra, again we are using Hell's Lament, and this is one of the important ones, so her HP is more than fine. The important part is here, you need around 50% rage regen. As you saw in the run, her ultimate comes back fairly, it's kinda close. Now I did use this aggression piece on her, but she doesn't have anything like truly special. This one is 3% basic attributes, some rage regen. The gear is good on her, but again you have other replacements here, nothing too crazy again, but you do have other replacements. If you don't want to use Citra, you have Lady Alexandra, you have Silas, you have Gushi, you have I don't even know, there are tons of replacements. Now for Vera, again, I kinda intentionally not used any insane gear on her, so we just have a lot of HP with some pretty average rolls, some purple rolls. Here we have an aggression, but honestly it doesn't even matter, the attack bonus is so small that if I find another piece without aggression, for sure it's exceeding that. And for artifact we actually have this Blight Color's Claw, which is so bad it doesn't even have a percent in runic augmentation, so let's actually also show her total HP because that's important. So 30k. Now we do have Praetus, doesn't really matter, around 30k HP. I didn't even bother to put a cultist, an arbiter ring on him. No variants, no nothing. The tier of Twilight is fairly insane, but it doesn't need to be. Now Suye, I choose to use Hell's Lament on her and used Arbiter exclusive. If you have one with attack, that should also work fine. We do have this piece which looks fairly insane, but it's only the baby version of aggression, and honestly her gear could be better. We don't have any variant here, so her artifact again is nothing crazy, we don't have any crazy enhancements on it, but in my opinion I haven't tested the attack because I don't have a Hell's Lament with attack bonus, or I should have one, but I don't think, yeah, it looks bad. So if you have this from the Elf Past chest, you can use this. I haven't tested if she does more damage with the crit damage or with the attack bonus, but regardless she should be more than fine. Now we have Erlis. Erlis needs a ton of HP, so 38k HP, and the North Glory artifact. Aside from this, speed, attack, heal effect, you know, all the usual healer stuff. Diao-chan is around 70k attack, and she also has this unstoppable force piece. As you saw, it's fairly close there, but that's mostly because we are choosing to use Citra, which doesn't excel at clearing that part. If you choose to use something else, for sure it's going to be easier. I just didn't want to use A5 heroes like Lady A5, Citra, Silas A5, and so on. And lastly for Nerissa, I don't remember if I showed the chance total HP, but let's look at it. 34k, it's more than you should have for sure. Nerissa again, around 38k HP, same as 39, same as Early's. And for artifact I chose a Tia's Balm, probably can be something else, it doesn't matter as much. On both healer I have 1 HP bonus piece, so if you can get to that HP, as you can see we are using some HP bonus piece, and the rest have some HP bonus in the substats, but as you can see the gear is nothing insane. Now, that's been it for the run. Any questions you have, leave them in the comment, I will be gladly to assist you. And let's get to the end part, where I kindly ask you to like, comment and subscribe if you enjoy this type of content, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye!